Welcome back, folks. I know it's been a while, so in case you forgot who I was, I'm Dom Perrone, and you're watching Dom's Dinner Bell. We're going to start off this season with the most important meal of the day. Now, I know we did breakfast last season, but this one's a bit of a different spin, a little healthier, if you will. What we're going to be doing is, I'm sure everybody has enjoyed themselves a slice of burned dairy breakfast pizza every now and again, especially living up in the CNY. We're going to make that a little bit smaller and put it on a bagel. We're also going to fresh squeeze some orange juice and make some homemade granola for a fruit parfait for your wonderfully balanced breakfast. So go wash up, get ready to eat, because you're watching Dom's Dinner Bell. So, what do I mean by we're putting it on a bagel? Very simple. We're going to be doing breakfast pizza bagels. You know, instead of red sauce and mozzarella, we're going to be doing eggs, bacon, and Fiesta Blend cheese. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a set of plain bagels. You can get these at Walmart. This Thomas brand was $4, but you can get Walmart brand ones for $1.98. These are soft, pillowy. We're going to toast them up, load them up. It's going to be delicious. The eggs here only cost $1.23 for a dozen at Aldi. The cheese is $2.22 at Walmart. We covered this last season. The bacon bits are only $1.70 at Walmart. These are great for everything you could imagine, from salads to sandwiches. The oats, big tub of rolled oats. You can get Quaker or Aldi brand. Will run you about $2.50 for this big container here. And of course, the bushel of oranges is what's going to be our most expensive piece today. This ran me about $4.50 for all of these oranges. Now, I will be completely frank with the audience here. Buying orange juice is going to be cheaper than fresh squeezing it. If you really want that fresh taste, go for it. Go for the fresh stuff. But don't kill yourself over it. It's not 100% important. It is not 100% necessary. Just for the show, I'm going to show you how to make fresh squeezed orange juice. And finally, of course, we cannot forget the fruit of our fruit parfait. This little fruit bundle here was about $3.25 at Walmart. Another a little more on the expensive side, but if you want to buy and cut your own fruit, or you buy the frozen stuff, just as good, and it might be a little bit cheaper. And of course, the yogurt that we will be using is still in the fridge, and that only costs you about 64 cents per cup of yogurt at Walmart. And if you buy the even cheaper stuff, it's even less, 47 cents a cup at Walmart. But forget all of this monetary talk. Let's get cooking. So we're going to tackle the oats first, because they have to bake in the oven for about 8 minutes. So what you have to do first is preheat your oven to 350 degrees and make sure that you have an oven rack in there that's well above the heating element. The oats have to be dried, rolled, and these are quick cook oats, but you can get any other kind of dried rolled oat to make your own granola. What we're going to be doing is a maple brown sugar oat for our parfait. What you do is, I've got a little quarter cup here, is you put them all on the baking sheet lined with parchment paper, not tin foil. Tin foil might scorch them. And you just put a nice little pad down there, little strip, for you to add your sweetening ingredients. Now, in order for them to really crisp up and get that crunchy oat taste that you're really looking for, you gotta add a little liquid. And the liquid that we're gonna use, of course, is the Perrone Elliott batch of homemade maple syrup straight out of New Berlin, New York. So what you do is you pour a nice big strip over the whole thing. Don't saturate the whole pile, but get enough in there that you know it'll mix around well. That's about, I would say, maybe a tablespoon and a half with about a cup of oats. Then you take your brown sugar here, and you take it in a little handful, and you just sprinkle it over and try and get it to stick to a little bit of that syrup. You don't want to use too much. You don't want it to be overly sweet. The yogurt is sweet as well. If you want to use plain yogurt, you can. It's up to you. I'm using vanilla. But after you have the oats set up here with all the ingredients, you're going to take your little spoon and you're going to try and stir it up as best you can. You want to get everything incorporated properly. You want to make sure that there's wonderful flavor throughout the whole thing. And once you have all of the maple syrup and brown sugar incorporated, which I don't, you can see that it's still rather dry around these parts. But while you're doing it, you know, try and mash it into a flat little pile along the... Bradley, Vinica, come in. Let's give the people a good look, huh? There we go. That's more like it. So you got to spread them out, spread them even. You can see that the oats, yeah, all that maple syrup in there and the brown sugar. The brown sugar will start to melt and caramelize around the oats, give it a little extra crunch there. And I know this is going to be sticky, but oh well. There we go. Make sure we get everything in there, everything set up nice and flat. And I'm telling you, all they have to do is cook for 8 minutes, and you bring them out and you let them cool. So, with those all set up, ready to go, you know, nice and maple syrupy, we take it here, we throw it in the oven, and we wait 8 minutes. Let's move on to the eggs. So now that we have the oats in the oven, they will be done in about 5-ish minutes. We're going to take care of the eggs. Now, the eggs for this particular recipe are going to be a scramble. And my favorite way to scramble eggs is to just toss them in the pan and hack them up with your spatula. Forget that. What we're going to do is we're going to make a nice homogeneous scrambled egg. So we're going to take 4 eggs and, of course, crack on a flat surface so you don't get any shells into your egg. Open it up, boom, right into the bowl. There's one. Here comes... So I guess we're making a 3-egg scramble. And please excuse us while we solve some technical difficulties. Things happen. Oh well. We're going to go with 3 eggs. These are not my last 4, but for the sake of time. Again, on a flat surface, crack the egg, open it up, get it into the bowl. Doesn't matter if your yolks are intact this time around because we're going to scramble them. Now, you can use a whisk. You can use a blender. It aerates the eggs a little bit. You can use one of those immersion blenders where you stick it down in there and it blends everything up. Look at that. Here, bring the camera. We got a little smiley face for the eggs. They're laughing at me because I dropped the 4th one. Real funny. Real funny, guys. So what you do is you take your fork in the bowl and you mix them up nice until they're one big homogeneous color. You see there how there's still darker parts and some clearer parts. Just keep the eggs moving until you get one grand yellow color, which we are getting quite close, though there are some richer parts of the yolk still not wanting to become combined. But that, to me, looks about good. So what we do now is you take your Pam or butter or whatever you want to use to lubricate your pan. You give it a nice quick spritz there, so that way nothing sticks down to it. Even in non-stick pans, eggs can stick like a jerk. Now you hear that nice sizzle there. See it start to bubble up. What we want to do is we want to continuously move that egg so the cooked parts don't solidify themselves to the pan. Like I said, we had that sprayed down, but if you just keep it moving, you don't get I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? You don't get that eggy taste. You know, it's going to be fluffy. It's going to be, boy, I really am. I don't know what I'm saying here, do I? Either way, keep your eggs moving. It keeps them lighter, fluffier, and creamier. That's the one I was looking for. You want nice, creamy scrambled eggs, and not creamy in the sense that they're runny like an over-easy egg, but creamy in the sense that when you put it in your mouth, you're not really chewing, you're more breaking down, which is odd way to put it, but it's what is meant. And in just a matter of minutes, you've got nice scrambled eggs. Boom, right there in the pan. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer these into a bowl for safekeeping until we are ready to assemble, because I just called an audible, and we're going to get the bagels set and ready. Stay tuned, folks. You're watching Dom's Dinner Bell.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. Did you know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up with that one. Matthew.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Before we tell you what that audible is, first of all, welcome back to Dom's Dinner Bell. I'm so glad you've joined us. The oats are done. Now, I know that they don't really look all that different from how they did 8 minutes ago when we put them in the oven. But the biggest thing about the oats is A, use a clean spoon when stirring the now dry mixture, but you see how they've clumped up nicely? That's all that syrup and that sugar doing its magic. It resembles a little bit more granola now. And before I burn myself on camera, like I've done more than once, I am going to stir these up nice and good. Get them off of the bottom of the parchment paper, because there's some good crispy, yeah, look at that crispy bit right there. Oh, that's heaven. I know, you look at me and you'd never think, boy, this guy really does eat healthy breakfasts. I've started, thanks. Well, because the first breakfast episode we did, of course, Mr. Jacob Bradley behind the camera as well, I did what they call a lumberjack, which is usually breakfast for 4. But this is a nice, healthy breakfast, but these are our finished oats. We got to let these cool, because if you take them right out of the oven and put them in your yogurt, they're going to be soft. I've made a batch this morning that we're going to eat on our parfaits, but this batch will not be ready for another 20, 30 minutes because it has to cool completely. That's where the crunchiness of oats comes from. So we're going to let these cool, and now we're going to get started on the bagels. So I mentioned calling an audible. Some might be wondering what an audible is. Well, an audible, in the game of football, American football anyway, is when the quarterback has a set play, and he decides, I'm going to change that, and changes the play right before it happens. That's what I'm doing. What we're going to do for our breakfast bagel pizzas is we're going to make a maple butter that goes on the very base of the bagels. How do you make a maple butter, you may ask? Well, it's quite simple, I answer you. We take a knife here, we take 2 big tablespoons of unsalted butter, put them into our bowl here, and we take some, of course, Peroni Elliott brand maple syrup, not for sale, only gifts, and you pour plenty in there so it gets nice and spreadable. Here we go. Take the spoon. That butter's got to be nice and soft, and just mix it all in there. If you feel like there's too much syrup, then add more butter. And I think that might be a little too much syrup. Yeah, I think it might be. So what we're going to do is we're going to go another tablespoon of butter here. Add that in. Yeah. Now, this might taste similar to the butter you get at Texas Roadhouse. It's not. Totally different recipe. But if you're in a pinch and really looking to scratch that itch, here you go. Now, you see the problem that we're arriving to here. We have a lot of chunks of butter in a soup of maple syrup. That's because the maple syrup was very cold and the butter was room temperature. How do we fix that? A microwave. Very simple. Put my spoon down there, just take this over here, put it in the microwave. 15 seconds ought to do you, just to get that butter a little bit more liquidous. Is liquidous a word? There's that camera nod I've been missing. This part will get edited out, yada, yada, yada. I know that my editing crew usually screws me on that and puts in the parts I say will be edited out, so, oh well. See, now we're talking. It's a bit more like butter sauce now, but it's, you know, it's all coming together in one nice color here. So you see, that's more of a spreadable business here, almost drizzleable here. Now, if you let it cool, which you can, it will be more of a butter. But for what we're doing now, we're just going to put it on these bagels here. So spread them apart. There you go. Nice bagel here. Nice bagel. Oh, there. Very nice. Okay, and here comes the magic. This is the audible I was talking about. Spread it all down there. Makes it nice and sweet. Now, again, this is an optional step, but this is my recipe for breakfast pizza bagels, because this just adds that little element of sweetness to it that you might not have in something like a bacon, egg, and cheese or a normal breakfast pizza. I like having that little extra sweet in there. If you don't, omit this step. Just use normal butter. Use cream cheese for all I care. It is up to you. I'm just here to teach you the basics. And to have a little fun while doing it. I hope you are as well. I say that like you're going to answer me. So, we take the butter around this way. And like I said, this is a bit more of a drizzle than it is a spread. But that's just because we had just stuck it in the microwave. I think that's good. What we do now? Well, I'll ask you, Mr. Bradley. Should we do cheese, then eggs, then bacon? Or eggs, then bacon, then cheese?
Let's do the second one.
Second one, okay. Eggs, then bacon, then cheese. So the cheese will encase this whole monstrosity. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a little tiny fork here, and we're going to take our eggs and put them right down onto that bagel there. The oven is still at 350. That's all you need it to be at for this, because you're just looking to melt the cheese and toast up the bagel just a little bit. And you're going to put that down right there. Nice big pile of eggs is a little big for one bagel. Come on, split that in half. Let's share, boys. Come on. Come here. Come here. Don't be a pain. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. There we go. Got egg on that one. And the egg that jumped, he had a plan this whole time, because now there is hardly enough egg. This will be mine, Jake. Don't worry. I'll eat this. It'll all taste the same. It's okay. That one will be mine. So these two will be mine. Whatever. So you've got the eggs on the bagel. All right, here we go. Then we go with the bacon bits. Of course, you can use sausage, you can use ham, you can use Canadian bacon, you can use real bacon. Bacon bits are going to be your cheapest option. So the bacon bits, we're just going to sprinkle all on the top there. Yeah, nice bit of bacon bits. These will get a little bit more crispy in the oven when you put them on there, just a little bit there. And we're going to go a little bit more here as well. It's like a open-faced bacon, egg, and cheese, which is essentially what a breakfast pizza is. It's just on pizza dough, but, you know, life goes on. I think that one needed a little more. There, okay, we got lots of bacon on those. Okay. Cheese, of course. And lots of this stuff. This is the Fiesta blend, not the kind with the taco seasoning, because that's gross. This is just the normal Monterey Jack, cheddar, and quesadilla, which is what the bag says. I don't know what that means. Cheese for quesadilla, I would assume, but what do I know? Anyway, cheese all on top of these bagels. There we go. All right. Now, once you have your bagels cheesed, egged, baconed, and buttered, we're going to slap these bad boys in the oven, 350 degrees. Let's start it at 5 minutes and then check continuously after that. That way, you can reach a doneness that fits your taste preference, your friend's taste preferences, your wife's taste, whoever's. It's up to you. But 5 minutes baseline, and then 5 minutes, continuously after that, to see, how done the bagel gets, how melty the cheese is, how hot everything is. 5 minutes baseline. What we're going to do next is the parfait, though, so let's get going. I use a big tub of yogurt for the parfaits. So we're going to bring this down here. I'm going to get 2 big old bowls for us for our parfait. Take the top off here. Get a big spoon. This is probably going to be the easiest part of your day. This is simply assembly. So the yogurt goes down, down, there. That's 1 serving. That's about 1/3 of a cup. Need a little bit more than that. Come on. There we go. Yogurt, set. Next, the fruit. You can choose any fruit you would like. This one happens to be seasonal fruits, so it's grapes, apples, honeydew, and pineapple, it seems, and a little bit of cantaloupe. The fruits you use are your choice. I happen to like all of these. Mr. Bradley, do you like all of these as well? That is fantastic. Okay. So then you're just going to pour all of the grapes onto one, I guess. A few of the apples. Get a few of the honeydew on this one. Maybe a grape or an apple or two. Can we throw a little variety in there, please? Thank you. So you got some fruit in there. There's no pineapple in either one of those, so we'll throw that down there. A little bit of pineapple there. Perfect. There. And then, of course, we take our freshly homemade granola. This is the batch that has cooled and is completely crunchy. Take a little bit of this, pour it along the side there. You know, make it a nice little presentation for your dish. Take it there, pour it along the side, take it there, pour it along the side, one more, boom. And that's it. Those are two parfaits. That can be breakfast all by itself. That can be a snack with breakfast. Whatever you want. This can be lunch. It's delicious at all hours of the day, and I always recommend anybody try it and eat it. It's one of my favorite breakfasts. So we're going to enjoy it ourselves. But now, the piece de resistance, freshly squeezed OJ.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up of that one. Matthew.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
I'm like throwing, not able to get on it. DiCarlo on the rebound. Alex DiCarlo.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
It has not been a good day for the dinner bell. I overfilled my pumpkin with the orange juice. It's freshly squeezed and fresh and delicious. Problem solved. So, folks, like I said, freshly made OJ is going to be more expensive than just buying it from a jug. But this is a little bit more fun, and you get to be proud of the work you've done. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this whole bag of oranges, and we're going to do the same thing that we did with the limes. Is you're going to kind of put a pressure on it, roll it out. You're going to cut it straight in half that way. And then with this juicer, you don't squeeze. You put down this way, and you twist. And all that fresh juice will come right out. Start to see it fill up there. Oh, yeah. Here, I'll hold it this way so we got a little bit more light on it. Yeah. Are you a pulp in your orange juice kind of guy, Jay?
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it? Okay, all right. So we can run it through a filter. If you're not a pulp in your orange juice kind of person, strain your orange juice after you have squeezed it. If you have a strainer, fantastic. If you have a pasta colander, that's not going to work out too well for you. So you have these rinds here. You can do a lot of stuff with orange rinds as well. You can turn them into candied orange peels. You can soak them in oil and make it like a citrusy essential oil. I'm sure there's other things you can do with them. But We're gonna do this here, squeeze out all the juice out of this orange, and it's the same process for all, I don't know, 8 oranges, or 9 it seems. Here we go. Oh, it's not as squishy as it was. It was a very juicy sounding orange. I wanted to catch that on the mic. It's gonna take a month of Sundays. Like I said, just buying the jar or the jug of orange juice is going to be a lot cheaper and a lot less labor intensive. But this is fun. We're having fun, right? That's what I thought. Oh yeah. Let's eat. All right, folks, it's time to eat. Standing with me is Jacob Bradley, and my girlfriend's calling me.
Oh, man.
Oh, darling, the camera is recording, but we're not live or anything. Do you want to say anything?
Dom's
Okay. Thank you, darling. Yes, surprise, we're live, babe. Love you too, baby. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Yep. Hey, Sam, just leave this whole conversation in the episode. I don't care if it runs 5 minutes over. Just do it. All right, folks, we're ready to eat. Standing with me is the Jacob Bradley, sports director of WTOP10, and the cameraman for not only this breakfast episode, but for the first breakfast episode we did here on Dom's Dinner Bell. Are you ready to try some breakfast pizzas?
I couldn't be any more ready if I tried.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and dig in. We have our freshly squeezed orange juice in these fun, festive little cups, and I'll tell you what, that is indeed freshly squeezed orange juice. That is quite delicious.
Let's try this.
Let's hear what you got. Ooh. Nice and crunchy.
Oh, yeah.
That's
no,
good?
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
good? All right, I'm going to give that a shot then myself.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. Dude. That maple butter gives that little touch of sweetness
sweet.
there.
Just wash it down.
Yeah, wash it down with a nice sip of OJ. I got pulp on myself. How's that OJ?
Very good.
Very good. No, I'm gonna dive into this parfait here. Let's see what we got. The homemade oats. I'll tell you what. I'll be honest, completely honest about the oats. I guessed. I looked up one recipe, and it was not a recipe for maple brown sugar oats. It was a recipe for like honey and walnut oats. I don't have walnuts or honey, and I thought these were going to be terrible.
Hey,
but
very good.
I'm excited they did well. Yeah. So, folks, there you have it. Jake Bradley joins me here. We have a very fantastic breakfast. Rings in at about $20 for it, and it'll feed 4. I suggest just buying orange juice, though. Thank you for joining us on Dom's Dinner Bell. Stay tuned for next time. Who knows what we're going to eat?
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2 with sports and news.